What's good, y'all? It's Evan from DMV Sports Zone giving you an update on all things DMV Sports.
Sports Zone.
Chased down by Beal in the corner for three, gets fouled and hits.
Welcome to DC.
Well, they tied him out.
You know when you're at the USA Cup, you're taking it slightly. I'm taking it slightly. Now how you gon' act on you gon' be right back. When we gon' be right here, we gon' be right here. We ain't going nowhere. Welcome to DC. DC, the home of Chuck Brown. Oh, you don't know the sound? Well, let me break it.
This time around, we start with the Washington Wizards. So for the Wizards, a win's a win, and that's what Wizards fans are saying today after the team beat Orlando 102-100 on Sunday. The win improves the Wizards to 20-20. They are the 9th seed in the East, so if the season ended today, they would play Boston in the play-in tournament. But here's the week ahead for Washington. The Wizards will reach the halfway point of their season on Tuesday when they return home to host the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder come in at 13-26, 14th in the Western Conference, ahead of only Houston, so if the season ended today, they would miss the playoffs. OKC's coming off a 99-95 loss against the Nuggets on Sunday. They've lost 4 in a row. This is the last of 2 between the Wizards and the Thunder. Washington leads the season series 1-0 after beating OKC 101-99 in Oklahoma City on November 26th. After this, quick turnaround for the Wizards, as on Wednesday, they're right back on the floor against the Orlando Magic. The Magic are currently 7-34, last place in the East, so if the season ended today, they would obviously miss the playoffs. Orlando's coming off that 102-100 loss against the Wizards on Sunday. They've lost 9 in a row. This is the third of 4 between the Wizards and the Magic. Washington leads the season series 2-0 after beating Orlando 102-100 in Orlando on January 9th, like I just stated. And for the Wizards, the week concludes on Saturday when they host the Portland Trail Blazers. The Blazers are currently 15-24, 11th place in the West, so if the season ended today, they would also miss the playoffs. Portland is coming off a 103-88 win against the Kings on Sunday. This is the first of 2 between the Wizards and the Trail Blazers. Last season, Washington and Portland split a pair, with the road team winning both. Up next, let's switch over to hockey and talk about the Washington Capitals. So for the Caps, the hits just keep coming. The latest one, a 3-2 shootout loss in Minnesota on Saturday. The loss drops the Caps to 27-9. That's good for 49 points. And third place in the Metropolitan Division, they've lost 3 in a row. So if the season ended today, the Caps would play New York in the playoffs. So here's the week ahead for Washington. For the Capitals, the week begins tonight with a playoff rematch against the Boston Bruins. The Bruins come in at 18-11-2. That's good for 38 points and 4th place in the Atlantic Division. If the season ended today, they would play Florida in the first round. Boston's coming off a 5-2 win in Tampa on Saturday. This is the first of 3 between the Capitals and the Bruins. Last season, Boston won 8 out of 13 against Washington, including the playoffs, where they beat the Caps 4 out of 5. On Saturday, the Capitals head to New York to face the Islanders. The Isles are currently 10-12-6. That's good for 26 points. Last place in the Metropolitan Division. So if the season ended today, they'd miss the playoffs. New York is coming off a 3-2 overtime win against the Oilers on New Year's Day. They've won 2 in a row. This is the first of 4 between the Capitals and the Islanders. Last season, Washington won 6 of 8 against New York. And for the Capitals, the week concludes on Sunday when they return home to host the Vancouver Canucks. The Canucks are currently 16-15-3. That's good for 35 points. 7th place in the Pacific, ahead of only Seattle. So if the season ended today, they would miss the playoffs. Vancouver's coming off a 5-2 win in Seattle on January 1st. They're on a 9-game point streak. This is the first of 2 between the Capitals and the Canucks. In the 2019-20 season when they last met, Washington and Vancouver split a pair, with the road team winning both. And now we transition to college basketball, and we start with the Maryland Terrapins. So for Maryland, it was a hard-fought game, but ultimately the Terrapins came up just short, falling 70-69 to number 23 Wisconsin on Sunday. The loss drops the Terrapins to 8-7, 0-4 in the Big Ten, good for 13th place ahead of only Nebraska, and they've lost 3 in a row. As of the latest bracketology, Maryland is not in the field. So here's the week ahead for the Terps. For Maryland, the week begins on Wednesday when they head to Evanston to face the Northwestern Wildcats. Northwestern comes in at 8-5, 1-3 in the Big Ten. That's good for 12th place. As of the latest bracketology, Northwestern is not in the field. The Wildcats are coming off a 95-87 loss at number 13 Ohio State on Sunday. They've lost 2 in a row. This is the last of two between Maryland and Northwestern. The Wildcats took the first meeting 67-61 in College Park on December 5th. And for Maryland, the week concludes on Saturday when they return home to host the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Rutgers is currently 9-5, 3-1 in the Big Ten. That's good for 5th place. But as of the latest bracketology, Rutgers is not in the field. The Scarlet Knights are coming off a 95-63 win against Nebraska on Saturday. They've won 4 in a row. This is the first of two between Maryland and Rutgers. And now we switch gears to the Virginia Cavaliers. So for Virginia, the last time out, it wasn't exactly too good of a performance. They fell 74-58 at North Carolina on Saturday. The loss drops the Cavaliers to 9-5, 3-1 in the ACC. That's good for 7th place. And as of the latest bracketology, Virginia is not in the field. So here's the week ahead for the Wahoos. For Virginia, the week begins on Wednesday with round 1 of the Commonwealth Clash against the Virginia Tech Hokies. Virginia Tech comes in at 8-6, 0-3 in the ACC. That's good for 14th place ahead of only Georgia Tech. As of the latest bracketology, Virginia Tech is in the last 4 in. The Hokies are coming off a 68-63 loss against NC State on Tuesday. They've lost 2 in a row. And this is the first of 2 between Virginia and Virginia Tech, who I'll talk about a little bit later. And for Virginia, the week concludes on Saturday when they host the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Wake Forest is currently 13-3, 3-2 in the ACC. That's good for 6th place. As of the latest bracketology, Wake Forest is in the last 4 in. The Demon Deacons are coming off a 77-74 overtime win against Syracuse on Saturday. They've won 2 in a row. And this is the only meeting between Virginia and Wake Forest. And now let's talk about the Virginia Tech Hokies. So you heard what happened last time Virginia Tech took the floor, the loss to NC State. You heard how the week starts at Virginia on Wednesday. But for Virginia Tech, the week concludes on Saturday when they return home to host the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Notre Dame is currently 9-5, 3-1 in the ACC. That's good for 3rd place. But as of the latest bracketology, Notre Dame is not in the field. The Fighting Irish are coming off a 72-68 overtime win at Georgia Tech on Saturday. They've won 5 in a row. This is the only meeting this season between Virginia Tech and Notre Dame. And finally, let's talk about the Georgetown Hoyas. So the good news for Georgetown is they were finally able to get back on the court. The bad news is they fell hard, 92-64 to Marquette on Friday. The loss drops the Hoyas to 6-6, 0-1 in the Big East. That's good for 10th place, ahead of only DePaul. And as of the latest bracketology, obviously Georgetown is not in the field. And they've lost 2 in a row. So here's the week ahead for G-Town. For Georgetown, the week begins on Thursday when they host the Butler Bulldogs. Butler comes in at 8-6, 1-2 in the Big East. That's good for 9th place. And as of the latest bracketology, Butler is not in the field. The Bulldogs are coming off an 87-72 loss against number 22 Xavier on Friday, and this is the first of 2 between Georgetown and Butler. And for Georgetown, the week concludes on Sunday when they head to Jamaica to face the St. John's Red Storm. St. John's is currently 9-4, 1-1 in the Big East. That's good for 6th place. The Red Storm are coming off an 83-73 loss at number 16 Providence on Saturday, and this is the first of 2 between Georgetown and St. John's. Well, that's it for this update, but we've got plenty of good content coming this week. Hey, just because football season's over doesn't mean the content stops. So keep it locked to DMV Sports Zone all week. And until I see y'all again, I'm Evan from DMV Sports Zone signing off.